So last day, Sayadaw explained the observation of the touching. Within 24 hours, we have to spend most of the time noting objects connected with the touching. The rising falling, for example, is also connected with the touching. It also come under touching. While we are noting rising falling on the abdomen, we are expected to experience tension, tightness, movement involved in the rising falling of the abdomen. So last time, Sayadaw have not enough time to finish this point. So today, Sayadaw will continue to explain this point from both theoretical and practical aspects. So if we note the rising of the abdomen concurrently or closely, then our mind is focused on the object and concentrated on the object from moment to moment. That concentration is called Khanika Samadhi, temporary concentration. The mind is concentrated on the object temporarily, momentarily, from moment to moment. So when that concentration gets stronger, we can able to see something beyond the shape or form. At the moment of the Khanika Samadhi, the temporary concentration, only form or shape of the abdomen become obvious to us. When the temporary concentration gets stronger, we are able to see beyond that shape or form or the object. Here the abdomen. That is the movement or the manner we are able to see. Then the concentration is strong enough to see the true nature of the phenomena, true nature of the objects. This is called the sabhava, the characteristics of the objects become clear to us. So physical phenomena, as the object is noted, then the form or shape is come to clear or obvious to us. And then after that manner, the way or the manner or the way the abdomen move, in Pali Akara, obvious to us. Then when our concentration gets strong, we are able to see beyond the shape and form and manner. That is the observation of the phenomena and the element or the true nature of the physical phenomena. It is tension or tightness or hardness, etc. So the moment the abdomen fall down, there are also elements can be observed. In the beginning, we just see the form or shape, and then manner or the way the falling movement takes place, and then we are able to see the true characteristics of the objects, the falling of the abdomen, or releasing or movement. Any types of sensation can be experienced which is involved in the falling movement. This is the true nature of the object, the sabhava. So in the early stage, it is quite difficult to experience the true characteristics of the object. Our mind usually is concentrated just on the form or shape or the manner of the objects. But that temporary concentration also quite valuable. It is very helpful to higher level of knowledge. In similar way, the bending our hand, stretching, when we walk, lifting, dropping our foot. In the beginning, we are able to focus on the foot during walking practice, the form or shape of the foot, and later we are able to see the movement or the manner or the walking practice. This is agara. In English, maybe translated manner. And then, when our concentration gets stronger, we are able to see beyond the form or shape or manner. That is movement or lightness or heaviness, tension, tightness, it is etc. The true characteristics of the object, the moment we lift our foot. So in this case, noting mind is a mental phenomena. The object which is noted is a physical phenomena. We are able to distinguish between mind and body, and then their interaction as well. So as long as our concentration is not strong enough, then we are able to see only form of the object or shape of the object. And when concentration gets stronger, then we are able to see the manner, is called agara, and then our concentration gets strong enough to see the true nature of the objects. Each and every moment of the rising, falling, or the abdomen, or any other objects. Later, we are able to see the object in segment changes from moment to moment. Katika Tamari here means the concentration, the momentary concentration on the object. So when we note an object, the mind is focused on the object and for a while. That concentration or that moment is called Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. That concentration just lasts just a moment. Khana means a moment, Ika means last. So moment lasting concentration, Khanika Samadhi. So each and every noting is focused on the object. This Khanika Samadhi, temporary concentration, takes place. Its ordinary name, original name given by the Buddha is Khanika Chaiti Gagata, quite long name. That's why in the commentary it just mentions Khanika Samadhi, temporary concentration. So there are another types of concentrations. Upajjhara Samadhi is a preliminary concentration, and Appana Samadhi, which is the penetrating concentration. So the Upajjhara Samadhi means the Samadhi which is still under training. When we are training our concentration, the concentration is not strong enough, but that concentration leads us to the penetrating concentration, the jhanic concentration, Appana Samadhi. So this one is called Upajjhara concentration, preliminary concentration. And then Appana Samadhi, the complete concentration or the penetrating concentration, jhanic concentration. So this jhanic concentration is as if penetrate into the object. That's why it is called Appana, penetrating concentration. It will last very long. So Khanika concentration is just a momentary concentration. For example, when we note rising, falling of the abdomen, or the sitting, touching, or standing, walking, our noting mind is focused on the object for a while, for a moment, for a second. For a second, our mind is concentrated on the object. That concentration is called Khanika Samadhi. So we have to accumulate this Khanika Samadhi. So from moment to moment, each and every notent help us to accumulate the Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. So in due course of time, to our surprise, this momentary concentration gets strong because it is accumulated and gets strong enough to concentrate on the objects very closely and very meticulously. So when we note the rising, falling of the abdomen, this Khanika Samadhi, this momentary concentration is bit by bit accumulated. So if we are able to note every second, so 1 minute is 60 movements of noting, 5 minutes 300 movements of noting, and 1 hour is 3,600 movements of noting. But throughout 1 hour, it is very difficult to focus our mind on the object without any wandering mind. So in the beginning, in the early stage of the practice, only momentary concentration is 1 second or 2 seconds, and then it can last 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and it can last longer and longer. In this way, our momentary concentration are accumulated and get stronger and stronger. Then that concentration help us to realize through nature of mind and body, through nature of physical and mental phenomena. So that's why the Buddha said, Samahito bhikkhave yatha bhutam pajanati. The mind which is concentrated help us to see things as they really are, through nature of the things. The literal definition of the Khanika Samadhi, Khanika Chaiti Kakata, is Khana Mata Titiko. So that temporary lasting concentration. The definition of the Khanika Chaiti Kakata, the temporary or momentary concentration. According to this definition, this concentration just lasts only a moment or for a while. So when we know the rising, falling of the abdomen, we focus our mind on the object a moment, just for a while, and then any other objects, one after another, occurs to us, and then we focus our mind on the object from moment to moment. So this concentration actually lasts only a second or 2 seconds or maybe 3 seconds, not very long. That's why this concentration is called momentary concentration. Then, is it possible to obtain higher level of knowledge through this momentary concentration? This is a question. So in the literature, it is mentioned that this momentary concentration also can lead us to the higher level of the concentration. It also can get strong as the higher level concentration. This is apana concentration, apana samadhi, jhanic concentration. So according to this literal explanation, this Khanika Samadhi, the temporary concentration, also can get as strong as the apana concentration. That he has one thing. Not any kinds of the temporary concentration is able to lead us to the higher concentration, apana concentration. So in the literature it is mentioned that the Patipakkhina Bhibuddha, Anabhibuddha, that the temporary concentration which is not overcome by the opponent, by the opposite phenomena, can lead to the higher level of the concentration or higher level of the knowledge. So these opponent phenomena or the enemies are called nivarana, hindrances. It is kama chana nivarana, the desire for sensual pleasure. And then vyavara nivarana, ill will, hatred or anger. And then chinameda nivarana, laziness, boredom, sluggish, and so on. And then you are not active, you are lazy, sleepy to practice. These are also hindrances. And then restlessness of mind. Your mind is not concentrated on the object and then thinking about this or that, wandering. This is uddhacca, the restlessness of mind. And then the regret or worry. You worry about this or that. These are all hindrances. These are opponent phenomena. So temporary concentration must be kept away from these opponent phenomena or the hindrances, so that it can lead us to the higher level of knowledge or concentration. Otherwise, these phenomena, the ahulsa phenomena, the hindrances, makes our mind and knowledge weaker. So such a weak concentration cannot be compared with a higher level of concentration, jhanic level concentration. Then we cannot keep our mind tranquil. So tranquility of mind can be brought about by the last long temporary concentration. Otherwise, we cannot bring about the higher level of concentration. So, Khanika Samadhi, which is free from the hindrances, can lead us to the higher level of concentration, the Appana Samadhi, jhanic concentration. Then, how we keep our concentration, Khanika concentration, away from the hindrances, unwholesome hindrances. So here, the literally explained that the Khanika Samadhi, temporary concentration, must be continuous from object to object. It's just like a water current or a stream. The preceding water and the succeeding water continuously flowing down. So in the same way, our temporary concentration must be continuous. Preceding concentration and the succeeding concentration from object to object, from moment to moment. The mind must be concentrated on the object. Or which object? The mind must be concentrated. The object must be present object, not past, not future. The mind must be concentrated on the present object from moment to moment. For example, when we know the rising, falling of the abdomen, or the sitting, touching, or the the lifting, dropping, during walking practice. Whatever object it may be, it must be present, not future, not the past. And then the concentration also must be followed, like a swing from object to object, from moment to moment, without gap or break, or without any stop, non-stop noting. Non-stop noting leads us to the higher level of concentration. So each and every noting also must be followed by the temporary concentration. So we must keep our eye on the objects all the time, from moment to moment, from one object to another. So the object, of course, can be different all the time, but the concentration can be cultivated from one object to another continuously, without break, without any gap. Then there is no chance for hindrances, and as a result, the temporary concentration is more and more accumulated, gets stronger and stronger. It can be compared with the higher level of concentration, jhanic concentration, the appana samadhi. And it also, this temporary concentration also can keep our mind tranquil. So this concentration gets strong enough to bring about tranquility. If we are able to note without stop or continuously from one object to another, and then our momentary concentration also can be compared with the appana samadhi, jhanic samadhi. So we can boost our or raise up the power of the khanika samadhi, the temporary concentration, keeping our mind away from the hindrances. Then how to make our mind away from the hindrances? It is by noting continuously. When we note the rising falling, for example, continuously, without break, through the temporary concentration, we are able to see the true nature of the objects, the characteristics of the objects, tension or tightness or hardness. It is just like a ball which is inflated. We can experience our rising of the abdomen as hardness or tightness. It is pressure or the air. So this is Vayo Dhatu, air element. We can experience the moment we note rising, falling or the abdomen. So that Vayo element is true nature of the physical phenomena, Paramattha, the absolute truth, what really exists. So this Vayo Dhatu is function is Upathambana, is characteristic is Upathambana Lakhana, tension, tightness or hardness or pressure.
Hardness,
no hardness is tension or tightness, pressure is characteristics of the Vayo Dhatu. And then in the beginning, in the early stage of the practice, we are able to experience the manner how the rising or falling take place. And then when our concentration gets strong and stronger, we are able to see the true nature of the air element, such as tension, tightness, etc. And then it's a function on the Vayo Dhatu The air element is movement, or in Pali, Samudirana Lakana, Samudirana Rasa, the vibration or movement or shaking. So so this is the function of the Vayo Dhatu, which we can experience as the movement or vibration or shaking. So that means we are experiencing the function of the Vayo Dhatu element. And then this Vayo Dhatu manifests to us as the wind, which is as a wind direction, or sometimes pulling or pushing. That is the manifestation of the Vayo Dhatu. So when we observe or note the rising, falling of the abdomen, we are able to experience this Vayo Dhatu in the term of his own characteristics and function and manifestation like this. So when our concentration, Kanika concentration, momentary concentration is developed and cultivated, so we are able to see the true nature of the physical or mental phenomena, what really exists. The experience of the true absolute truth or true nature of mind and body, or what really exists, is called Pajjaka Jnana, the empirical knowledge, the knowledge which is based on our own experience. So the observation or noting of the rising, falling of the abdomen is not only able to lead to the just concentration, but also it helps us to gain the realization of true nature of the mind and body. So today the time is up. Shall we continue tomorrow's talk? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.